Oh yeah, see if you like my my magnesium.
Oh yeah, I'm getting a glass of his water here, and he has this nice water cooler that's got like a lot of these electrolyte salts in it to try and keep me hydrated, right?
Yeah, so we'll
I guess
see.
it's gonna have some high magnesium content, and apparently it tastes like seawater.
Yeah, I've been working on the balance. I think this is the best balance in flavor for the magnesium lacing.
We went out for ramen before this, and the sodium content of that ramen was briny stuff, man. That was like drinking some straight up like dead seawater there.
You drank all the broth. I don't think you're supposed. It was a 60 day
I
pork.
think you're supposed to drink it.
I think you are. I just never do. I don't believe in broth.
There's no way. It's like if somebody gives me food, even when they give me like we went out to a nice steakhouse and they had all these like garnishes and like flowers and shit.
You eat the garnishes?
I eat the fucking flowers, bro.
Powerful.
If you give me flowers, I know they're edible, right? You're not giving me fucking toxic flowers, so I'm gonna eat them. It's just like a salad that's purple.
It is just a purple salad if you think about it. All right, let's tell me. Does this taste like medicine or like?
No, it just tastes like water.
It just tastes like water. You can't taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no. Well, that's because you're used to the mineral add.
So he was like, okay, well, this is gonna be really weird for you, and I was like, well, actually,
I lace my shit with electrolytes too.
You should see. So lately, I have been putting in my water. I went to the vet supply store. I went to a farm supply store, and I got a bunch of horse electrolytes.
Oh wow!
Right, so they have the four main electrolytes, right? So they have
Lucas's girlfriend is looking at me looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why the fuck?
Yeah, we have a live studio audience, and she was not a fan of that one. But
I like that we're like the non-incel podcast that everyone thinks is incel. Like we both have girlfriends, which is so fucking. It's just such false advertising. We're supposed to be we're fake cells. We should call this.
Dude, people call me like Fakecel all the time, and I'm like, I've literally never once like LARPed as like I am an incel, right? Like why am I getting called a
bro?
fake
I get
cell?
called a fake cell so often too. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I used to like kind of. I do a lot of that feeling no girlfriend posting because I thought it's funny, and I guess I know a lot of the incels, but like it's just very funny that we are. Though if you look at group chat girls think I'm actually an incel.
If you go and you Google girlfriend on my profile, you will find
like a million posts.
1 million posts about my girlfriend. And then you have these people saying like, you fucking
That's actually a good point,
cell.
actually.
Like,
you do often reference a girlfriend.
Yeah. And I've done this with like every girlfriend that I've had.
Mm-hmm. And
I
give
seamlessly transitioned from one to the other without ever telling anyone there was a breakup.
But listen, this is like when people say that even though I know Verse has a girlfriend, he just doesn't seem like he has a girlfriend. It's similar. I have incel vibes. I give it off.
I don't think it's incel vibes. I think what they're just not used to is like an overwhelming amount of Sigma male energy. Right?
Oh, true.
It's the Sigma male vitality.
We are overloading them with Sigma. Sigma waves.
The thing about a Sigma is even when you have a girlfriend, you're still signal.
You're still fucking. You still go on your own
being
path.
Flipped off by my girlfriend.
Even when you're still on your own path.
Not a huge fan of my eternal single in perpetuity comment.
We are definitely. This is definitely the Sigma male podcast.
The Sigma pod.
Sigma squared.
Sigma pod.
3 Sigma.
Verse and Lucas, Sigma mode. You know how Sigma we are? We are so fucking Sigma that we had an entire segment about should we do an intro or not, and then we got distracted talking about Andrew Tate, Top G, for like 45 minutes, and we never even finished our question.
Okay, let's finish our question.
So we were trying to find out, what do you guys think about us having an open? I was thinking that maybe we should just pop in and be like, guys, we are about to jump into episode 15. Let's go. And then just roll the clip. Like that should be literally like a 3-second intro. And maybe we could have like a song or that just feels
I do kind of like, so Edenic Jesus Zante just made an album that's
he just made his beat thread.
That shit is fire, by the way. I've been listening to the album on loop for like, it's like 20 minutes, so it's been playing. It loops really fast, but it's just like beats. Low key, I bet he would make us a beat intro.
Yeah, he probably
if we wanted
could.
one, and it's only like 10 seconds, 5 seconds.
My thing is just that. I love the way that having a consistent intro, like Pavlovian conditions everybody to like they hear it and then they like associate it with you and then it gets caught in their head and then some later time in the day they'll think about that same thing and it'll
like a wrestling theme.
That is good, but I've also every single Zoomer that I've talked to. So if I send a voice message and like to send a voice message, for those of you who have never sent voice messages, which I'm assuming is a very small percentage, but we're going to cover you anyway because we're very inclusive here. When you start talking and when you press the button, are usually not going to be aligned, right? Unless you've very intentionally done this. So most of the time, the average person sends a voice message, they click play, and then like half a second later, they start talking. So there's a little lag. Every time I've sent a voice message like this to a Zoomer, they respond saying like, "You did the millennial pause." And they like give me shit for it. And they all like instantly start talking, or they'll start talking even before they press the record button. So like they toss you right into it, and it's because they have so little tolerance for like any sort of distraction being tossed in before it's the same thing with TikTok.
Yeah,
like if you watch a TikTok,
they start off mid-sentence.
Right? Yeah, like they start off, and it's just like they are ready.
This
to
is my point.
Go.
I'm telling you, I have the Zoomer attention span, which is why people think I'm younger than I am. I'm like, fucking just start. I'll figure it out. You don't need to tell me what episode this is. I can look. You don't need to tell me who's talking. I'll figure it out. You just start talking. So this is why I like to know. Now I am partial to the idea of just starting and then like about 30 seconds to a minute in, we roll the 10-second intro, like B-roll intro, and then come back to the conversation. But I feel like it should start on us speaking because then people are already stuck in there. We could throw the intro in.
Yeah, we get the full attention capture. I don't know. I think my there is a certain reassurance that I feel everybody over the age of like 30 gets from knowing, okay, this is actually the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Whereas like it seems like all of the old people who listen to our podcast, they hear stuff and they just get thrown into the beginning. And there's always like a sort of disorientation, like fuck, like did they fuck up recording this? And there's not like they like just started from the middle and they didn't put in the beginning part, or like what are we doing here?
Yes, and I think this is the generational divide because we are old enough to remember a dial tone and waiting for the dial tone to speak.
Yeah.
So they expect something of that nature.
Yeah.
But guess what? We're fucking new generation, bro. We just fucking start, bro.
Well, the other thing, point number 3 is it's literally more respectful to the listener to not waste their time with non-content,
exactly.
Right? Like it's the most respectful thing that we as content producers can do to give you full uptime. We're not even advertising our own podcast on our podcast because why do we need to advertise it?
You're already here.
You're here listening to us.
And I used to put a cool intro. I had like a 30-second intro. No, it was not like a real
30-second
but it was.
intro.
I used to talk over it. I used to talk over it. So it'd be like a music track that would play.
You got like some elevator music, and you just sort of like rap over it for the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. So I like that kind of intro, and no one ever commented on it being too, because I would just play it for 30 seconds, and I would talk over it, and then like the beat would drop, and then I'd like fade it out.
Oh yeah.
So it's like we are talking from the second the podcast starts.
Yeah.
But you have our signature, intro beat. And then, drop so we know it started for real.
So you still get that nice Pavlovian conditioning going.
Yeah. Because like my old podcast used to start with like a chord like boom, and then my voice would start, and then it would just like, it would build, drop, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
We could do that, but I don't have a song. So I would have to find a song that's like, and I can't remember what song that was, so I found it like at 4
That would be
a.m.
funny if we just reused the same.
I mean, I would. I found it like 4 a.m. again because I used to like channel 4 a.m. energy, so I would like just be like scrolling around.
The other funny thing to do would be to go and learn how to use FL Studios.
That'd be so lit.
So we can go make our own beats, right?
So I've thought of doing that, but again, I need to just like
it's so hard
delegate because I actually
I know
on more than one occasion was like I should just make my own beats, bro. I had this thought like last week. I gotta make my own fucking beats, bro. Because I heard this actually today I had this thought. Excuse me. Because there's there's like a TikTok of these Indian girls, like the Noon Sisters, and some Lithuanian dude made a fucking house remix of them singing, and I was listening to that all morning. And it's fucking, and he just like he just takes the audio from the clip and turns it into like the beat dropping.
So I've been trying to learn how to use Reaper to do the podcast editing. And in the process of this, I've mostly seen, because like if you want to learn how to use a digital audio like I don't know, whatever the DAW acronym stands for, it's basically like what Reaper is, what Audacity is.
What is
like
the W?
The program that lets you edit all of the audio stuff together. If you're trying to learn this stuff, the majority of people and the majority of tutorial videos you're going to find are going to be not podcast related. They're going to be about music production. So I have been watching what goes into music production, and when I see it, I'm just like,
It's so complicated.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to touch this with a fucking 40
Bro,
foot
if
pole,
you
man.
really, when you really get into it, because it seems a lot easier than it is when you see like the visual.
With the podcast, it's like if I want to get really fucking complicated, I'll have like 6 tracks.
Bro, no, there's like 150 fucking tracks.
Yeah.
And then like each part of the track is getting like channeled through different things.
Yeah.
And like it's really complicated. If you get like a good producer, it's out of control.
Yeah, and then it's like you look at the total editing time that went into producing like a 2-minute and 50-second track, and it's like 7 total days.
Yeah, it's
and you're
way.
just like, maybe I'm not gonna make music, man. It's one of those things that seems really fun, and then you learn.
Bro, I wanted to be a
you learn what it
producer
takes.
in college. Me and my friend, we used to do this. We used to like make. When I was like a freshman in college, I was like 17, 18. Me and my friends used to make rap beats, right? And we used to like fucking. Our other friend was a guitarist. He would make beats in Fruit Loops, just like. This is like right after
Back when it was
Soulja Boy.
still called Fruity Loops,
It was
man.
still called-
Back before they rebranded to
it's
FL
just
Studio.
FL. Oh, I thought
They
everyone was saying.
rebranded to FL Studios, presumably because Fruity Loops sounds deeply unserious.
It does sound unserious, yeah. I mean, what it was
It's
free.
the same thing with like Mastodon. Like, okay, everybody, send out your toots.
Your
Does
toots,
anybody
yeah.
have any toots?
They fucking no, it was on Fruit Loops, and this is like when what's his face, Soulja Boy, a little bit right after Soulja Boy made Soulja Boy, the fucking Superman song, and he just used a free trial, and so my friend was like, oh yeah, I could do that shit. So he started getting pretty decent, would make beats, and we would like rap over him. But again, it took fucking forever, and he was like a really good musician, like probably the best one I knew, and he was like a music major. Oh, he's a chemistry major, but he was like really
Music
talented.
and chemistry are very similar.
Very
If
similar.
you really think about it,
It's true.
long
Kind of.
enough,
Yeah, sort of.
The different phenol
like-
groups are
yeah,
basically the same as
chords.
like measures and chords. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
As someone,
Your girlfriend is just fucking like
our,
fucking melting. I don't know. Her face
our,
was
our
very funny.
in-studio audience is experiencing an acute bout of what's that? Narcolepsy. She's suddenly fallen asleep. This is our gauge. It's like the canary in the coal mine, right?
Yeah.
Like if this is the state of our in-studio audience, our listeners by now are totally asleep at the wheel.
Listen.
They're crashing into shit off the side of the road. We've
She's been
lulled them
listening to
into
us
a
talk
trance.
She has been listening to us talk for hours, though. In fairness,
That's normally what she does.
that's actually a good point. Yeah.
This is what she signed up for.
Hey, we did it. Yeah, no. I don't know what the hell we talk. Wait a minute, we still haven't figured. I think that we could get if we look long and hard, we can find a track that would be intro. But I think we should start talking. If the intro music's playing, we should talk over it.
What if every single intro is the start of that Last Marie episode where my cat is screaming into the mic, just sounding like a bitch?
Actually, yes, we should do that. Then we should do that for sure. Actually, we need to have a cat in the intro. If we're gonna do an intro, I'm heavily lobbying for having a.
I should
cat
like
screaming.
max. So you know how they have those like funnels that they put around cats, like or around dogs or whatever
Yeah.
animal to prevent. So we need to get one of those, but we need to make it out of like acoustically opaque material, so that instead of acting like a funnel to prevent them from biting themselves, it acts like a megaphone.
Yes.
and it like directs all of its like pathetic meowing straight at the
Okay,
mic.
you need to record your cat meowing. All right, that's the first thing, right? And then we can talk over your cat meowing every single time the episode starts, and consequently, everyone will get Pavlovian association with the fucking meow. That's the way. If people want an intro, this is what you fucking get. This is what you deserve. You deserve us at our best.
Yeah, fucking Zero HP Lovecraft literally came into a group chat with us, and he wrote out like 3 paragraphs, basically like admonishing us for us like our low production value shitty.
You know how many times
intro.
we've been told we have low production value? In fact, this is our thing. Maybe we're like we're like a punk band or like
We're the
fucking,
punk band of podcasts.
We are
Except there's already 87 other billion, like 87 billion other shitty podcasts. It's not like unique. We're just like one amongst 80 billion other shitty podcasts.
But ours is better somehow. Somehow we're like it's more of a
It's
a
all
style.
content is king. He
It's a
tells
stylistic
himself.
choice.
Content is king. He reassures himself for the 47th time.
This is a
this year.
stylistic choice.
The people come here for the volume of our words, not the volume of our post-production activity.
Hell yeah, dude. Anyway, so either we're gonna get. I'm thinking cat intro for sure. I'm thinking if you guys just to annoy the boomers, this is what you asked for. This is what you get.
This is what
okay, because we already figured it out. I have the minute attention span of a Zoomer. I already know what the people want. But if the old boomers want a fucking intro, I'll give them a goddamn intro. All right, we'll give them the fucking intro to say of all intros. But then I think our audio quality is getting better. Everyone needs to calm the fuck down.
I have gotten
so many messages.
I've gotten so many messages over the last few episodes saying like your audio quality is so much fucking better now. This is kick ass.
Listen, our imagery, our branding is better. Our audio quality is better.
Is our branding better?
Yeah, we used to have the fucking yellow. The yellow animation stuff.
Now we have the nice dark coated.
The dark coated raccoons.
Yeah.
And now the consistent raccoon stuff. People are like, oh, we got raccoons.
The raccoon. Yeah, the raccoon theme.
No one else has There are no other raccoons in the woods. Neon synthwave. Neon synthwave raccoons in the woods.
We have cornered the market entirely.
We're fucking killing it, bro. The first time I posted that, people were like, it's really busy.
Wait, hold up. Do you think there's a reason there's no other raccoon neon synthwave AI
Absolutely
generated?
not.
No. Okay.
They haven't thought of it yet.
Just wanted to make sure.
Because people were saying, wow, your logo is cool, but it's very busy. Well, as it turns out, have you listened to our podcast? Because if you start fucking mouthing off our bits, they're so needlessly complicated. So just like, I don't know. I'm asking people to name the best bits of 2022, and they're like, yeah, executioners get you a lot of pussy, and yeah, when you start talking about medical insurance or eye surgery, yeah, we have a very like strange
when Lucas
content.
described his eye surgery, it gave
that one is
it
definitely the most
gave me
popular.
nightmares.
Yeah, that's for sure the most popular episode. Well, not by listeners, but by memorable. So pure nightmare fuel. Yes.
The thing that sucked so much about that one was that we were on the hotspot and there was a consistent little mismatch between our.
Oh, the delay
that pissed everybody off so much. Where
that was really
bad.
It
was like because like every time I would be talking and then I would stop and it would take you a while to start talking because you wouldn't hear. So I was able to cut those delays out. But the alternative was like the vice versa, where one of us would be talking and then the other would start talking and they wouldn't realize the other one was talking for like half a second when they would finally stop again.
Yeah,
so
there was
a
bad.
ton of overlap. And
people were so mad about that. I got so many comments. I will do your audio mixing. Listen, you wouldn't have done a better job because it was fucking. We were talking while hearing. This is the same thing with when I did the BPD God episode on my other podcast. I heard all this bad shit while I was recording, right? So if I ignore the fact that I am in real time experiencing this inaudible noise or like this delay, what I say in response won't even make sense to you. You won't even understand what's going on. Like, I feel like you should just leave that in.
Well, I couldn't
agree.
even mute it out because like we would be talking over each other, but then we would also be listening to each other. So like I couldn't mute out the overlap because both of what we were saying was relevant.
Yes, exactly. It's like we're just good. We're just that good. First of all, we're just fucking goated, bro. And so you just gotta get on our level. If I could talk and remain interesting with audio delay and listen at the same time, then you can fucking listen to it. So shut the fuck up. No, we love you guys. I'm sorry. We love you guys.
We're rating our
please
audience.
Please don't leave. Please don't leave. I'm
They've
sorry.
been leaving in droves. The viewer count just went from 31 to 12.
Okay,
31 to 12. They are all gone.
Those 12 that remain though, you're the real ones. Those 10 patrons that we have.
Those 10 patrons are literally.
They're saving
I need
us.
to tell my mom about my Patreon.
That is so. I don't know you guys, but you guys are awesome. Thank you, 10 people.
Honestly, if our Patreons need to start like leaving messages and stuff, so we can start sending them bouquets of flowers. And
We
shit.
should. Maybe we should. I do that later.
What if it's
Happy
all?
New
What if
Year.
it's all like our moms?
My
What
mom
if my
absolutely
mom
doesn't
made
listen.
like 5 accounts and your mom made like 5 accounts?
My sister might be listening, and she would never tell me. My sister would listen to every episode and just never tell me, and then just make a reference to it one day at like dinner. So it's possible my sister's listening, but absolutely no chance.
I think if my sister ever heard my voice on any sort of like online medium, she would just turn it off.
That's funny. My mom
Just
knows
instantly.
My mom mentioned at Thanksgiving. So is that what this verse saloon is about? I was like,
Verse and Loomis?
Why do you even fucking know that? I was like, my mom is keeping tabs on me, bro.
That's pretty good.
My mom knows verse saloon, so she must be googling my shit, or she just by proxy, or she's just a good mom. Maybe she just pays attention. I don't know,
dude. I feel like
she follows me on Twitter. I forgot.
I feel like
I didn't block her.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
fair. I feel like when people ask me like, "What have you been up to?" You know, like because everybody else does like the weekly like Snapchat story, like, oh guys, like I'm hiking, like, oh, I'm at this restaurant. Like, I feel like having a podcast out there really gives people the option to, go and zoom in and see a lot more resolution on whatever we're up to than any of this other
absolutely
weird Instagram flex.
You know about BeReal, that social app where you take a picture, everyone takes a picture at the same time?
No, it's
just like you're not allowed to. So basically, it's like it's supposed to be the opposite of Instagram. You're not allowed to edit the photos, and you have like a 2-minute time slot to take a picture of both your face and like your front and back facing camera. And you can't edit it. You can't upload one. You have to take it live, and they give you like a random point in the day to take it, and everyone has to take a picture at the same time. So it's like real life. What are you doing?
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. That's why I'm on it now, and it's always me in front of my computer, no matter any beard is in the same hoodie every fucking day. It doesn't matter if it's 8 p.m. or 10 a.m. I'm in the same hoodie in front of my computer.
So is there like a gating system? Like, do they disallow you from viewing other people's photos unless you upload yours?
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's actually pretty fun.
Funny.
Yeah, they gate it, and then you're not allowed to post, and they were like, you have to post right. You can post late, but you're like, you can't scroll it unless you post. So there's like you are not allowed to check anyone's post or comment or anything. You won't even see shit. It's just like a post to BeReal. I like it.
This is like the death to influencers app.
Yes, that's what they're pointing. I think it's actually a really clever idea. It's very fun because everyone's like, it's all really funny for girls too because everyone's like looking.
They're always doing their makeup, right?
No, they're never doing their makeup. They're always like
never doing their makeup.
They're almost always like makeupless in bed. Watching some fucking
lying under their covers with their MacBook out watching a movie.
That's literally every girl 90% of the time. It's very funny actually.
It's
very rare that they're like outside, which is nice. It's very humanizing. Everyone's humanized.
Well, I feel like Zoomers overall got really tired of the because like the 2010s fitness influencer meme was basically like, okay, rent the Lambo, rent the hookers, have them pose on your Lambo, flex a bunch of hundreds. You made big money in e-commerce. Like, it was all exactly the same.
As the VGR called it, premium mediocrity. That is VGR, Vikesh, whatever his name is, Rao. I actually started as a VGR reply guy on Twitter. Few people know that. He's a kind of a fucking annoying cringe lib, but he had some good ideas. And him coining the term premium mediocrity as like the millennial generation's thing is like Instagram and the thing you're saying. And then Zoomers, he said he came up with domestic cozy, which has not taken off, but it's very accurate. They all are like if you look at the best TikToks, very rarely, more often than not, it's like someone in their car just talking in the phone. Yeah. It's like very much like real. Everyone's in their fucking hoodies.
This is like my goal though, is being able to. So I didn't recently get my GoPro, but I've recently fallen in love with my recently-ish acquired GoPro. And I did this by mounting it to a little collapsible tripod and walking around with it, just like filming everyone around me or filming myself while I talk walking down the road. Or like filming my girlfriend while she's like trying to brush her teeth or like perform some other activity where she like especially doesn't want to be harassed by me doing this with. And so the GoPro has... I had no idea about this before I got mine, but the GoPro has a screen on the back so you can see what's being filmed, but it has a selfie screen on the front so you can flip it around and film yourself and you can see what's going on that screen. So I have it on this little pole that you can like flip around and show yourself and other things. And it's possibly like the most high potential to be annoying while producing content out of like any other device ever. Because like you could literally have a movie camera and you couldn't be this annoying because you can only see one direction, right? The GoPro being so small,
the subject can see themselves being.
They can see themselves. You can see them, and it's so small you can fit it in your pocket. So you can go basically anywhere, pop out this GoPro. And you can turn off the beeps when it starts up, so it's totally silent. So you can be having this nice conversation with your girlfriend while she's driving you around, right? Like some sort of
and you can
Sigma child as you're being chauffeured around by your girlfriend.
Like, swings at you.
She finally looks over and she sees you filming her, and she just starts punching you.
I might have to get a GoPro. It's going to be our peak.
Dude, the other thing is us both, we generally create pretty good back and forth dialogue. So like if there's ever anyone else that we're with and we pull out a GoPro, it's usually going to be pretty amusing. As long as the GoPro itself doesn't give them so much stage fright, they like shit the bed and just stop talking, which does happen a fair bit.
It would be nice to bring well, the thing is, everyone I hang out with is such a fucking psycho about OPSEC. They don't want to be on camera. When James,
this is literally me. He's talking about me.
Well, not just you. No, when James brings out his camera, like James would like MK Ultra Money. When he would bring out his camera at his parties, people fucking lose it, dude. And like he's pretty good when he posts videos of like cutting out people who are not okay with being put on camera. But bro, people get like so sketched out. They're like, I know that, yeah, and our fucking studio audience doesn't like James, but many people don't like James, but that's the homie, and like very quickly they learn that he's actually the best, and yeah, he is a little bit. He scares the host. We understand. They
are terrified.
He's a
right?
certified
like
host.
The hoes are cowering in the corner. They're crying. Their mascara's streaking.
I've brought so many gaggles of women to James's apartment, and they fucking freak out. They're like, "Where did you take me? What is this fucking place?" But they slowly but surely get acclimated, and they're like, "He's actually genuine." I'll say the word
genuine.
Is genuine. The word is genuine.
Genuine is definitely how I would imagine most people wind up describing him. Now, I can't myself describe him that way because I've never hung out with him in person.
Which is weird. I feel like you should have already.
Well, we don't live close, and
he doesn't go out. He doesn't
and
leave
like
New York.
I go to stuff, but I don't usually go to like crypto stuff. And
no, usually he makes the after party, like the kickback after the after party. Everyone ends up at his place at 6 a.m.
See, this is the other thing is I'm just not a big 6 a.m. guy. I'm a big. I'm a big go to bed at 7:30.
He does the pregame too. People end up there at 2 p.m. and 6. Like he does both sides.
Okay.
So like often when we podcast, it's like 2 p.m. right before there's a big party, and everyone's like, "Oh, I didn't have anything to do before the party. I'll come over at 2 p.m. and we can just talk for 3 hours." And then everyone arrives, and
then it becomes the podcast.
Well, it's the podcast. No, everyone gets there at 2, 3. It's a podcast for 2 hours, and then people start arriving like 5, 6 because it's like a day party or something, and then we stop, right? So he does like the pregame. It's anyway. The point is that James' host scares the host, and but I have gotten many people to many ladies at least to realize he's not as bad as they think. Plus, he has a cool girlfriend. I don't know. I can't imagine you can be that bad if your girlfriend's cool. And every girl likes his girlfriend. They all like her. So it's like, come on. But hey, I'm the James defender. I've been defending James for years. for fucking so long.
All of us have kind of assembled our own friend group of people who require consistent defense.
Oh, my God. We all, bro, all of us.
Like if I'm thinking about everyone who I hang out with,
it's actually like really
online
bad
stuff. It's like, like depending on which sphere we're in, it's definitely going to depend on which one of us is more hated. But like,
no, that's actually a good point. We're all hated by some sphere.
There's definitely a group of people out there who hates all of us.
That is very funny. Yeah. Literally all. I have to defend everyone in our group chat constantly. Like that shows how good our content is, though, right? If you have haters, that means you're really on the rise. You're on the come up.
That is something that like this is one of those platitudes that like I always heard like a bunch of like influencer types repeating like all throughout like the 2000s when I was just like growing up, and I like never understood what it meant. But like it is so fucking ridiculous to have somebody come and like tell you, no, you should have done this with this post, or like you should have written it this way, and then you like go and you check out their profile and they have like 37 followers and it's like an account made in like 2013, and you're just like, what on earth would ever give you the balls to think that any piece of advice that you give anyone would ever be taken seriously? Like, what is going on here? It's like the same thing with like a literal homeless crack addict coming up to like Bill Gates and saying, "Hey man, like, have you thought about like investing in like email marketing or something?" It's like, fuck you, dude. Like, obviously I know about email marketing, you idiot. Like, I'm going to kill you.
This is always when I say like, whenever I used to get those replies a lot more. I get them on our podcast, but never before. On my posts, I stopped getting those a while ago because I used to just reply, "No, you're wrong." Thanks for this comment, but you're absolutely wrong. I did it correctly. Did you mean it? Yes, I did actually mean to do it that way. Suck my dick, and I'm better than you. But I do like we are getting that for the podcast, which is nice though, because at least people are leaving feedback. Because it's better than making podcasts and like into the void.
Right, podcasting into the void is uniquely awful because like it's not like just tweeting into the void, because tweeting is an extremely low effort thing. Podcasting into the void is like
an hour, 2, 3, 4 of your time,
plus the post production. Plus the logistical
and no one
upload,
cares at all.
right? And then you're just like,
And then you look at the stats, and it's like one person listened. It's like, oh, great, glad I did that.
Yeah,
Whereas like,
and then you're like, well, maybe in the future it'll really catch on, and then everybody's gonna go back and they're gonna binge listen to my old episodes, right? Right, guys? Like, really?
But seeing that we have listeners now, is far more motivating.
Yeah. It feels like, and it's also cool when they talk to us and they say things about what we've said
and even
reference.
And even if you guys hate, our audio production, which who does?
The thing is, if they genuinely do hate our audio production, then I would like to move towards a thing that they don't hate. However, if
our previous audio production, like the lagging. I think our current ones now. I feel like if you're complaining about where it is now, like
I feel like if we were to do it every time like this, you and me face to face on a dedicated interface on the same machine, I feel like our production quality goes up like a factor of 2 just by virtue of this.
But people always forget, again, we're doing it via streaming and shit. Like, we're like on Zoom or
so there's going to be an annoying latency that's just always going to. And the thing with latency is it generally just makes you seem dumber, because there's the pauses and you can either go out and edit out every single transition from me to verse to me to verse to me and take out like half a second or something. But that's
actually, it does make you just seem dumber, right? Because I guess because like what is IQ except for like speed and computational power, right? So like
like ability to like synthesize a response to information that you've been given as an input like as quickly as possible.
So then I guess we just sound fucking retarded. It's like, or we just sound like 10 IQ points or 5 IQ points slower.
Right. It's literally like an objectively scalable IQ nerf. Like somebody would be able to go back and say,
maybe that's why everyone thinks I'm fucking retarded.
Huh?
Maybe that's why everyone thinks I'm retarded when they listen to us. They're like, that verse guy, he fucking talks too much. That fucking guy.
That was the funniest comment I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, we got it twice. We got it in your Telegram and on the fucking video. And I replied,
I think they were joking.
They were trolling you.
They had to be fucking with
They had to be.
Imagine going to somebody's podcast and imagine like listening to Bap's podcast and being like, Bap talks too much. Like, and it's like, you're listening to his podcast. Like, this is a piece of media designed specifically for him to talk. Like, listen, obviously.
But I have to like clap back though. So I took it completely offensively. But I'm sure you were fucking busting my balls. But I had to maintain frame.
You had to maintain.
I said, listen to another podcast then. But the first one
I had to maintain frame by getting really pissed off and calling you a bitch and threatening to fight you in real life. I had to
fight me right now, then, pussy. You fucking won't.
I had to make sure that everybody knew how confident I was and how stable my demeanor was and how fucked you were.
Yeah, no, we had to make. But I do understand. I don't know. I think we're pretty good. I think we're smarter than we sound, I guess.
Maybe.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Where is that? Kim Possible? Anyway, we keep going off the fucking intro. I think we found like
we're going to release a 2.5-hour podcast called Help Us Decide on an Intro. And there's going to be chapters like, is Andrew Tate a pedophile? Do we have a problem with his friend Eric Weiss? Like
the best part about our podcast is naming it, because there's no logical, coherent name you can ever come up with. So I just come up with like retarded things, like the comments we say along the way, which I think is pretty fun. But like, there's no topic. Like, there's no like. Our topics are so nuts. This is
definitely one of the most confusing things to me is when people ask me like, "What's the subject of your podcast?" And I'm like,
I have no idea, bro.
Right? Yeah. Like,
in fact, it was very good. We like deliberately stayed away from picking a like subject matter podcast.
Well, like I've listened to a lot of podcasts and there's never like a subject really, right? Like even with like Bap's podcast or like Red Scare, or like any of the other like Come Town, etc. Like there's not a theme.
There's like sometimes like Bap might be like this.
I'm actually totally LARPing, because out of those podcasts that I just named off, I think I've listened to like 45 minutes of like one of them.
Yeah, I mean like Bap will do like a theme episode, or like he'll do theme segments, but like I mean, ultimately, there's never. It's always after the fact. You go, okay, this one was kind of about Kanye or whatever, and like you can
like you can decide, okay, well, it seems that we've spent a lot of time discussing like Andrew Tate and his like cam girl business. Yeah. But it's never like we're going into this and we have to stick to it, man. We've got to like.
I hate having a topic I have to stick to. Sometimes I
go on podcasts sometimes where they have like a topic and like you start getting into like a fun discussion that like occurs naturally from everyone discussing what they want to, and then like the podcast host pulls you back and says like, we've got to stick to the topic. We've got to get back to the topic, and it's like
this fucking topic's been fucking talked about it to death. That's how you got people to watch it, right? You only get people to watch topics that have been like done ad nauseum. You never get, like, you can't draw people into a topic about fucking executioners getting pussy. You can't do that, right? That's not a good debate topic.
It has to flow organically.
Exactly. So I think it's much better to just have a, retarded title about yo-yos or whatever, dashiki, Yeezy sweaters. And I think that it captures our energy more. We have the raccoons in the jungle, synthwave style, and we have our insane titles that make no sense, that are kind of clickbaity. And I think that's really our vibes.
I've been, so on my Substack, I've been playing around a lot with like,
I like the clickbaits.
Right, changing out like legitimately descriptive titles with clickbaits. And basically what I've found is that in every situation, clickbait is superior because not only do about twice as many people open a clickbaity title as they do like a descriptive title, but they keep reading. Like it's not even like they open it and then they get pissed off and then they close out, but like they keep reading and then they subscribe if they like the content.
Really?
Like it literally doesn't even need to be related, which is making like this makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because like why is every headline clickbait now?
Yeah, because it works.
Why would people not do this if it works?
Yeah. And in fact, they're like, why are you not making clickbait?
Right.
Like, do you not want listeners?
I'm not doing clickbait because I have like this sense of integrity. And it's like, okay, your integrity towards what? Like making 50% profit and gains in viewership?
All that means, if you don't use clickbait, all that means is your shit is boring and no one wants to read it. You're like telling everyone your shit's not interesting. Right? Because at least with clickbait, it's 50-50. It's either good or bad. When it's not clickbait, you know for a fact that these motherfuckers are not going to be marketing to their audience.
Well, it's also like, you didn't do clickbait. Can you even do clickbait?
Yeah.
Are you, maybe you're not smart enough to copyright shitty clickbait headlines, right? Maybe you never took English 101, how to copyright like a bastard.
Yeah, see, now you think about it. Now when you start to think about it, it's really just cope. For their inability to get people's attention.
And this is the same thing with the weird like Twitter reply critics too, that come up and say like, oh, like you should have done this better in this post. And it's always like, why don't you do it? Like you have this, there's always this really weird sense that like there's some insurmountable difference between like their account and the account that posted the thing that they're complaining about that can be, and it's like, if you think the post would have been better like this, why don't you just remake the post and post it on your thing? That's better.
And what you realize,
and then you can see if it's actually better or not. And none of these people ever do that. They just want to sit there and be like, "Well, like, give me better content." Like,
man, fucking baby bird, mommy bird, just vomit in my mouth, please. Better clickbait. Or non-clickbait.
And like I'm not even saying like I'm some omniscient God here who's like always right, but it literally like if you think you can do it better, why would you not simply try to do it better? Like that was why I started posting, was because I made a Twitter basically because I wanted to find gym equipment.
That's actually a good point. I started posting because I started watching other people post. I'm like, I'm better than this fucking idiot.
Right. I would see some guy who had like 3,000 followers in like the right wingosphere doing some like rendition of some take, and I was like, I could do a better version of this take. Like I could get more likes than this guy. And then I was just like, okay, let's try, right?
The cycle of samsara it continues to turn the wheel, And first you just it starts with having good taste, and then you get to a point where your taste is so high that no one can satisfy your taste anymore. Then it's time for you to fucking post.
Yeah, and then you've got to
put your balls on the line.
This is literally like the process of lurking, right? Like if you've gotten so deep into the process of lurking that you're giving people commentary on how to improve their posting, then like that's kind of a sign that you should be
posting yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need to imbibe any more content. You need to fucking produce, man. You need to get your nipples out and start squirting.
This
Fucking start squirting that milk. You know what I mean?
This was exactly what went on with like all of the like everybody was sitting there watching Solbra saying, "Oh, this fucking guy, like I know way more
Solbra's
esoteric nutrition information than Solbra does. Fuck this guy." And it's like, why are you not posting it? Like this guy is literally making millions of dollars a year doing this, and you're sitting there
just reciting your own tweets,
right? And you're sitting there saying, I could do this so much fucking. Then fucking do it. Fucking do it.
Bro.
Fucking do it. I'm pointing the gun at your head. It's your.
Do it
it's
right.
Your, fucking do it. Fucking do it.
Well, we might have to edit that. I don't know if we can have that on YouTube. Maybe
that's true. Actually,
we'll find out. I'm not gonna look at the timestamp. Maybe we leave it in. We're not even monetized. It doesn't matter.
That is true.
We'll get monetized later, maybe.
What if we monetize in like 2 more episodes and then they fucking like nuke our shit?
That'd be pretty funny. I think realistically speaking, we probably have like 3,000 watch hours, so we're probably. Well, you have to show more. We're like 2,900 probably.
That's I got to private up and I got to show more.
My guess,
I got to stop being on vacation and not posting anything.
Vacation's so cringe, bro. Fucking who takes a day off? Get that grind set. I thought you were a Sigma. I thought you were a fucking Sigma.
Bro. If you knew how many fucking hours of PTO that I have, you would not be criticizing me. I have stockpiled like such a motherfucker, dude. I could literally take off like 4 months and just
that's kind of sick, actually.
It's disgusting. I have done absolutely no vacation.
So you want to move. Have you considered keeping your job and being on 4 months of paid time off and then having another job?
No, I haven't, because what happens is when I quit my job, they will pay my PTO off. Most of my PTO, which I accumulated at a level of 2 promotions lower. So like when
it scales.
Right. And it scales. So when they give you the PTO, like I effectively, like every time we would have like a holiday bonus or something like that, I would convert it all to PTO hours, so they would have, because PTO, when you convert it to PTO, you don't have to pay the additional 10% supplementary income tax that you do on bonuses. So like, let's say they give you like a $5,000 bonus. You have to pay your standard traditional tax rate on that, plus like an additional 10% on top of that, which basically, for me, that puts me somewhere at like 40-something% of tax on that. So that fucking blows, right? Like you get a $10,000 bonus and it gets nerfed down to like $5,500. That sucks ass. I don't want to do that. But if I convert it to PTO, I get the full value. So like they prorate like whatever they would pay me for a day, and they take that bonus amount and they say, okay, if let's say you make $50 a day and you get a $100 bonus, then you get 2 days of PTO. However, now that I've purchased those 2 days of PTO, let's say I get 2 promotions, and now instead of making $50 a day, I'm making $100 a day. So now my stockpiled PTO hours are worth twice as much.
That's smart,
right?
And you don't have to pay the extra bonus tax because this is just paying you for wages that you already
right. And it's something you get when you're paid out and you're leaving the company.
Yeah, it's like severance. Interesting. Yes. That's smart. You got the fucking. Oh yeah, this is good.
So when I leave my job, when I leave my current job,
just gonna fucking
I am going to be handed a fat ass bonus check of like 1/3 of a year's wages.
That's fucking lit.
Yes.
That's very.
And everyone's like, "Oh, why don't you just burn it all off?" And
absolutely
it's like,
not.
Well, because I think it's gonna look fucking awesome to receive a check for like
fast stacks.
Yeah.
No, at least you're not in fucking New York City. Like the tax that they put on like finance bonuses is like 60%. Like unironic, 60% at the end of the year.
Well, so here's the other shitty thing with sales is if you do base and then you have commission, the commission I think is also charged as supplemental income. So it winds up you have to pay like a 50% tax on it or something just shitty.
Cringe fucking. Yeah. I hate taxes.
Yeah.
God damn.
Like this has been...
Bro, I'm going to go to jail. By the way, this podcast might end because I'm going to prison for crypto taxes.
For crypto taxes.
Now, granted, I'm still poor enough that they're not going to come after me, so we might have a few years before they catch up. But if this podcast takes... Like, let's say this podcast gets to the point where it can like pay for our bills and stuff.
I have to go to prison too so that we can both continue podcasting together.
Exactly.
We did this one episode here that revealed that our synchronicity is so much higher when we're both in the same room together.
It's nuts.
And the only way our podcast can ever continue is if I go to jail also.
But I'm hoping that, by the end of the 2023 year, we're like fucking, maybe we get Andrew Tate levels of big. Maybe we become a household name. You never know.
Hustlers University 3 with Lucas and Verse.
It's the Sigma Symposium.
The Sigma
Symposium.
What's another S word?
Sigma Syndicate, Sigma. But Symposium's where you learn, no?
Yeah, Symposium's not bad.
The Sigma. I don't know.
There's not a lot of good stuff here.
Not a lot of good stuff.
Symposium was fine. I think we might have to stick with. Although
Symphony?
Symposium, that's like 3 syllables in itself. There's
Sigma
no
Symphony?
way.
Sigma?
There's no way. Well, I guess we are. If we're gonna market as the.
I mean, we're a fucking Vers and Lucas podcast. That's 5 syllables.
Yeah,
That's a lot of syllables already.
that's gonna be like.
But Symposium is like fast syllables. You know, you don't say like symposium. You always say it fast. So it's like basically 3 syllables.
The Sigma Simp.
Symposium. Sigma Simp?
You the Sigma Simp. You abbreviate it. The Sigma Simp.
Fucking Sigma Simps, yeah. Welcome to the Sigma.
The Sigma Simp is like the guy who like drives down Main Street at like 11 at night and he sees a woman and he yells out the car window like, "You have beautiful eyebrows."
Yes. No, we want to be really
in like a really deep and threatening voice, right?
If we
like
got
she's scared,
our-
but he's complimenting her, but she's scared.
If we got our fucking our Patreons, we started calling it the Sigma Symposium, and then now we started be like, "Oh, thank you to all my Vers and Lucas podcast simps, all my Sigma simps to listen to the
Start going like